Welcome, listeners, to Enki, Tales from the Past. I am Nabu, son of the great King Marduk and Prince of Babylon, and as a human, I have been blessed to grow up among the Anunnaki and Igigi. I have learned from their wisdom and knowledge. My father, King Marduk, and my aunt, the great Inanna, have taught me the ways of justice and righteousness, and I strive to follow in their footsteps. Join me on this podcast to learn their secrets and witness how together we will forge a brighter future from the ashes of the past. Our story continues. Stay tuned to Enki.
Hello listeners, my name is Mário Portela, author, editor, and producer of this audio drama. Before you listen to today's episode, I bring you awesome news. Now, the full epic saga of this podcast has been expanded into novel form, a book with new details and adventures on every page. Consider this the ultimate director's cut edition of the audio drama that has captivated legions of followers. I created it not only to add an extra layer of support you can give to the project, but as a real extra where your support is rewarded by a really detailed lore and adventure tome created just for you. The rich world and compelling characters brought to life in this book will be familiar to fans of the wildly popular audio drama podcast Enki, Tales from the Past. Devoted listeners have been transported through vivid soundscapes as Enki's story unfolded episode by episode, season by season. Those encountering Enki's journey for the first time are in for a thrilling ride, and dedicated fans will delight at discovering fresh insights into beloved characters like Enki, Ninhursag, and Enlil. Explore relationships only hinted at previously, including secret romances and political alliances that shape the colony's future. Feel the dramatic moments pulse with even greater nuance and excitement. This is the next step on the journey. The full flowering of a spectacular sci-fi universe. Buy your copy on Amazon all over the world. Just search for Enki, The Beginning, Book 1. And now for today's episode. Have fun.
This is Enki, Tales from the Past. This audio drama is authored, edited, and produced by Mário Portela. The sun rises on what should have been a joyous day in the city of Babylon. My people bustle through the winding streets, smiles adorning their faces. Pure laughter and joy in the air always gets my smiling and waving to them. As they make their way towards the great ziggurat at the east of town, it is the festival of our Father Enki, a day to celebrate the Anunnaki who came from the heavens and bestowed their knowledge upon humankind. Musicians line the avenues, filling the air with upbeat melodies, and the smell of roasting meats and fresh-baked bread wafts through the gathering crowds. This will mostly be a human-only festivity, as per Enki's choice. The Anunnaki have all secluded themselves beyond Inanna's gate, watching from afar. Humans need to get more and more independent from their benefactor giants. As king, it is my honor and privilege to lead the proceedings. I have donned my finest robes, gold-trimmed and woven with the symbols of my station. The weight of the ornate headdress I wear serves as a reminder of the gravity of my position. Though I govern with wisdom, there are always problems that elude easy solutions. This heavy crown is of those useless problems. I push those more solemn thoughts aside for the moment and focus on projecting an air of calm assurance. My people look to me for guidance and stability. I must be a beacon to rally their spirits. My wife Nanaya walks at my side, radiant as ever. Her insights are invaluable to me, though often she speaks in riddles, forcing me to disentangle the true meaning. But together, we are stronger than either of us could be alone. Just then, a deafening boom shatters the tranquility. Searing heat explodes nearby, the shockwave flinging me violently to the ground. Ears ringing, I crawl through acrid smoke, flames licking at my robes. Blood-curdling screams fill the air. I scramble over mangled bodies sprawled in the dirt, desperation gripping my heart.
No!
I cry out at the horrific devastation. Rage and sorrow churn within me. Who has done this? Eyes wild with confusion, citizens look to me for stability amidst the carnage. I long to comfort them, but chaos reigns. There will be a time for mourning, but now action is needed. With great effort, I make my voice project strength and purpose. Stay calm, everyone. Rescue the wounded. We must stand united. Nanaya let out an anguished wail, dropping to her knees amidst the smoldering rubble and twisted bodies.
No, this cannot be.
She cried out, tears streaming down her smoke-stained cheeks. I rushed to her side, my heart twisting at her raw despair. My light, be strong, though my own voice shook. She lifted her face to me, eyes brimming with sorrow.
Why? Why must we suffer so?
I had no answer except to wrap her in a fierce embrace as sobs racked her body. All around us, the air rang with the mournful cries of the bereaved. I steeled my nerves. Action was needed now, not grief. Drawing Nanaya gently to her feet, I turned to address my royal guards. You, begin tending the wounded immediately. And you, search the wreckage for any still trapped. Not a moment is to be wasted. The guards nodded grimly and rushed to follow my orders. Though chaos still swirled, focusing on the immediate needs of the people kept paralyzing despair at bay. As we tend to the injured, I exchange worried glances with Nanaya. This was no mere accident. The precision of the blast points to experienced saboteurs. I suspect Tiamat's hand in this, though I have no proof. If they seek to disrupt our progress towards unity, we must be vigilant. I order my remaining guards to sweep the city for Tiamat agents and double security at all public events. Still, unease gnaws at me. Check every crevice. Question all witnesses, I order. We must uncover any trace of these cowards. The guards set out on their search as I clench my fists in frustration. What twisted souls could conceive of such an act?
Following my king's orders, I started investigating the incident in my own way. I can see a group of Babylonians with resentment hanging heavy on their frowns. A suspect group I decide to close in. A broad-shouldered man with a serpent tattoo harangues the crowds.
You see how little Nabu cares? The Anunnaki trample us while he feasts. He only cares for his false gods. Where are they now that you need them? Why of all days they decided not to be here?
Angry murmurs rise around him as he speaks of violent revolt. I plead reason, but desperation has taken root and spreads like the plague. As I turn to follow the agitator, a ragged child tugs my robe.
Please help us.
She whimpers. That instant was enough for me to lose the agitator movements. I pushed my way through the panicked crowd, struggling to keep sight of the broad-shouldered man. Moments ago, his shout stirred up anger towards King Nabu and the Anunnaki. Now he slipped between tents and shanties, the serpent tattoo on his arm briefly visible before the press of bodies swallowed him. I clenched my fists in frustration as he vanished completely. How dare this coward stir up violence, then shrink from justice? The people looked to me, an officer of the court, for protection. Yet I allowed an agitator to sow seeds of chaos unchecked. I had no choice but to return to King Nabu empty-handed. A man with a serpent tattoo was riling up the people, claiming deceit by the Anunnaki, I reported, but he disappeared before I could apprehend him. The king nodded gravely, sighing with the weight of this new threat. I could only pray we uncover the truth before more violence erupts.
What's taking them so long? I've been planning this for over a month. Why do I have to trust trained human minions?
The mission was a success, my lord.
I could finally hear from my comms.
Fear and anger spread in the wake of the blast. These Babylonians are ripe for rebellion.
Ah, finally we have action. Excellent. We have drawn first blood against my brother's pets. Tiamat's bite will only grow more deadly. Initiate Phase 2 on the mining shafts.
This is Enki, Tales from the Past. This narrative podcast is authored by Mário Portela.